everyone to the Hawks Nest, or if you're watching it on the Octagonal Gaming YouTube page. What's up, everyone? I am your host, Mr. Octagonal, and we will be discussing all things Atlanta Hawks today as the Hawks go into another season of NBA hoops. Last year was particularly not pretty, as the Atlanta Hawks, of course, were the worst team in the NBA. And, of course, the draft lottery screwed them, so they got the fourth pick. However, they were able to snag the Alabama guard, Collin Sexton. So today we're going to be going through the team, looking at potential rotations, maybe even some trades, with an overdose at the wing spot. Definitely a lot of wings. A lot. So maybe a potential trade will be in the near future, as well as potentially an inter-squad scrimmage. So let's go by position. The starting point guard for sure will be Dennis Schroeder. Put up career numbers in points, assists, steals, and free-throw efficiency and three-point efficiency. So definitely a career year for Dennis Schroeder. He'll be starting at the backup. There will be a battle between the former Boston Celtic Terry Rozier, who was signed in free agency, continuing to improve, and the second-year man Frank Mason, who played a little bit for the Hawks this past season. At shooting guard, a starting battle will occur between Collin Sexton and Caris LeVert. Sexton will get a lot of minutes either way, whether he's the sixth man or the starter. If we look at Sexton's strengths, he's a good shooter, a good playmaker, and a good perimeter defender. Pretty athletic. Not really much else you could ask. I know it's a 77, but I feel like it might play like an 84. Maybe that's a bit generous. But we also have Caris LeVert, who was acquired in an early season trade from the Brooklyn Nets, which, safe to say, the Hawks definitely won that move. As we're also going to have some callers in, I forgot to mention that. I'm a terrible host so far. I sound so unprofessional. But also in free agency, the team added Norman Powell, as well as Josh Swisherson. So Swisherson and Blazemore are paired up. As don't be surprised if one of these guys down here, maybe Malik Beasley, does get traded, or even Mr. Blazemore himself, because I don't really want to go in. I don't think the Hawks plan on going into the season with 6 shooting guards, but we'll see. All pretty similar in a way. All solid perimeter defenders. That would go to Norman Powell. Blazemore's the best playmaker. All somewhat athletic, not extremely athletic, but they're all decently athletic. At small forward, I think the small forward might be the most clear position going into the season. The starter will be Taurean Prince, a most improved candidate for sure. Definitely had a solid season. And the backup will be the rookie from Villanova, sharpshooter Michael Bridges. Power forward, I would say, power forward and center are kind of interesting. There are rumors the Hawks do plan on starting John Collins over Dwayne Dedmon. It's a question of where they will put Collins, or the free agent signee Julius Randle, who signed to a 2-year deal of a team option for the second season. I really like the signing from the Hawks. They're not locking themselves in to a big contract. If Julius Randle struggles, they can always trade him. As last year was not particularly great for Randle. Looks like he did get a little less minutes and only played 56 games. Injuries have not been great so far in his young NBA career. Obviously, his rookie year, opening night, I believe he broke his leg after 14 minutes. And there went his season. So if I look at their stats, I feel like Collins will be a better center because Randle's more of a stretcher. I feel like Randle's a bit better of a perimeter shooter. I know the stats look like John Collins, but I do think John Collins would fit more at that center position. He only goes down to a 74. Randle would go down to a 77. So I would say I made the right move. So maybe we'll find out a potential trade right about now, as the Hawks don't really know who their backup center is. Maybe it'll be Gershon Yabusele, who I'd definitely like to see minutes from. He definitely showed a lot of flashes as a rookie. So let's get a potential move in here from our NBA insider. That is, if a move is made. As I drop my controller, very unprofessional. Before we go back to the radio show, I'm going to be normal me for about 10 seconds. And of all the wings, I am trading the GOAT, Josh Richardson. The reason is that he's in so many series, he's been in so many series, and he's going to continue to be in so many series. So I figured it was there to give some of those other wings like Caris LeVert and Norman Powell, and even Kent Blazemore more of a spotlight. I understand Josh Richardson's kind of a GOAT, but we will be trading him. So back to the radio host version of me right now. Alrighty, so the Hawks have reportedly made a deal with the Philadelphia 76ers, sending Wayne Josh Richardson, who they signed in free agency, as well as a Cleveland first-round pick this year, which is top 10 protected, to the Philadelphia 76ers for the unprotected Sacramento Kings pick, LiAngelo Ball, and another pick later to be disclosed, most likely a future second, most likely the 2021 for one from New York. So the Hawks are most likely getting a better pick, as well as LiAngelo Ball, who going off cue, not we, who the Hawks actually had for a little bit, however, had to trade him for a roster spot, and now they have him right back. So let's get to an inter-squad scrimmage where we may have some calls from some Hawks. First caller of the day is Kevin from Albany, Georgia, here to talk to us some Hawks hoops on the Hawks Nest. Sorry if the voice sounds cringy. That's just me talking in a cringy voice. But without further ado, let's get right into it. What's up, Kevin? What's up? Yeah, that is so cringy. What's up, Kevin? We are talking some Hawks hoops. What are your expectations of this Hawks team going into this season? I don't expect this team to be good. I'd like to see improvements. I'd like to maybe see Sexton, Rookie of the Year, or at worst, All-Rookie First Team. I definitely think he has that talent to do so. Very explosive guard, can shoot, can play defense, pretty athletic, pretty much has all the tools he needs. I think he's the best player in this draft class, and I think the Hawks hit a home run. If they had landed the number one pick, I would have wanted them to take Colin Sexton. I know we have Dennis Schroeder and there are players like Marvin Bagley and Michael Porter, but I think Sexton just has that talent, and with this team, they need to go best player available. And I think they definitely did that with the fourth pick of Colin Sexton from Alabama. I'm a huge Alabama Hoops fan, and watching him this whole season has been like watching a caterpillar grow into a butterfly. It was like so insane. He's definitely an extremely talented player and one of the best I have really scouted in a while. I don't really know what else there is to ask. I think he might be the second coming of Chris Paul in a way. It may sound a little extreme, a little crazy, but I don't know. I've been in free agency. I love the move of Julius Randle. We did not lock ourselves into a ginormous contract, but we got a good player for 1 or more years, depending on if he does good for us. He's a talented young player. Just needs to make sure I can stand on the court more, so I'm pretty sure that's it for me. And thank you. Alright, thank you. I already forgot your name. What was it, like Kevin or Joe or something? I'm stupid. But that was Mr. Kevin or Joe from Albany, Georgia, saying that he thinks Colin Sexton's the best player in this draft class, which I think is a little extreme. I don't think Colin Sexton's the second coming of Chris Paul, and he's probably not. But he does have a good point for potentially Rookie of the Year. Good shooter, good playmaker, good perimeter defender. He's athletic. What else is there to ask for in a combo guard like him? Not much else. I don't really, even though he just got destroyed by John Collins, but there's not really much else to ask for John Collins. Or not John Collins, I'm so stupid, for Colin Sexton. It's like Colin, it's not easy. It's not, I've never really done anything like this radio show thing, so it's kind of hard. So let's get in another call. From LaGrange, Georgia, we have George, who is a diehard Alabama basketball fan. He's been on the show a few times, even though this is like the first one. So I don't know how that makes sense. He's been on multiple ones, but you know what? I'm an idiot. George, the floor is yours. He's going to be talking to Colin Sexton pretty much. Huge Alabama fan, as I'm saying. So George, the mic is now yours, my friend. What's up? I am George, of course, and I think Colin Sexton is the definition of a star. He has all the pieces that he needs to. He can shoot the ball. At Alabama, I don't really want to say he was lights out, but he was definitely our best, one of our, if not our best shooter, definitely our best scorer, most explosive player on the court. And you notice that there was like something different from him, from all the other players on the court. He just had that like special mentality, that difference-making game changer, whatever you want to call it. But like he really stood out pretty much every game in, game out, night in, night out. He was that guy who just stood out. He just seems like a gym rat. He seems perfect for this league. The old saying is, hard work beats talent if talent does not work hard. And he has the talent, but he's definitely a hard worker, always willing to improve. I think he's perfect for this league. I think he's perfect for this team. I'm happy he's going to be local. And I'm excited to go see some Hawks games. I've never really been a huge Hawks guy, mainly just Alabama. But I think after watching him his freshman year, I have just grown to love him. And I'm going to be going Hawks Nest all the way, baby. Thank you for calling, George. Those were our 2 callers. George and I already forget the other guy's name, but they both really like Colin Sexton. The first guy said Colin Sexton's the best player in his draft class. The other one watches pretty much every Alabama game, according to him. So it's pretty clear he knows what this Colin Sexton guy is made of. And he's basically said that Colin Sexton's pretty much one of the best college players he's watched coming out of the pros for a while. Which, I mean, it's hard to disagree. He's going to be a game changer, difference maker, hopefully for his Hawks team. Hopefully he can step up right away. He has the tools to do so. He can shoot, play defense, he can play make. He's athletic. He has everything a combo guard can ask for, except for inside defense and rebounding. Inside defense is definitely not needed for a guard, and rebounding is, like, cool and all for a guard, but, like, it's not, like, important. A shout out to Karis LeVert right there. So I'm going to do some position battles, like, off camera, and then I'm going to get to you guys when we have a rotation. It's Colin Sexton has missed a lot of shots in this practice, and everyone's talking so good about it. Rotation that Coach Mike Budenholzer actually just got a 4-year extension, not in real life, but in the game. He said that we're going to experiment a little bit. Like, what he means is, like, with, for example, Rozier and Mason's backup point guards. Some games Rozier's going to play, some Mason's going to play, and maybe, like, we'll see who does better, kind of. So, the starting lineup reported by Budenholzer is Dennis Schroeder, Colin Sexton, Taurean Prince, Julius Randle, and John Collins. And then off the bench, it'll be Karis LeVert, Dwayne Dedmon, Norman Powell, Terry Rozier, Michael Bridges, and Gershon Yabusele getting minutes. And for opening night, Malik Beasley, Kent Bazemore, Frank Mason, and LiAngelo Ball will most likely not play. So that's it for the Hawks Nest. Make sure to stay tuned next time for opening game against the Houston Rockets. So, yeah, the radio show's over, and now it's normal Mr. Octagonal, and now the video's over. So, tell me what you think of the team in the comments. I'm out. Peace!